How's it going? Hopefully, everyone had a glorious weekend. I certainly did. Went out to my property and put some walls on my shed. Coming along just nicely. I wasn't paying attention to the news, or any politics, or anything like that. It wasn't until Sunday when I heard about this. But like I said, this is a serious thing for a senator to do this. It really is. It's a very serious event. So Rep. Bowman pulled the fire alarm before funding vote. Now, this is the IllinoisDefense.com, which is the law office of Matthew M. Falkery, LLC, Chicago criminal defense firm, felony, misdemeanor, and DWI defense. Now, this is in Illinois. It happened in D.C. Laws may not be the same in every jurisdiction, but just to add some context, this was written in September 24th, 2021. Can you go to jail for pulling a fire alarm? If you're like most people, you heard that. Pulling a fire alarm when there's no fire is a crime. But can you go to jail over it? This guide explains whether you could go to jail for pulling a fire alarm and what other similarly minor crimes could put you behind bars. Can you go to jail for pulling a fire alarm? The state of Illinois pulling a fire alarm where there is no fire falls under disorderly conduct because disorderly conduct is a crime. You can go to jail for it. In fact, the law says a person committed disorderly conduct when he or she knowingly transmits or causes a transmission in a manner to the fire department of any city, town, village, or fire protection district is a false alarm of fire. Knowing at the time of the transmission that there's no reasonable ground for believing that the fire exists. Pulling a fire alarm when there's no fire is a class 4 felony and it's a pretty serious crime. In fact, if the court finds you're guilty, you can spend up to 3 years in prison. Other types of disorderly conducts don't have near that possible penalty, such as disturbing the peace, while others, like calling a bomb threat, are much more severe. What do you do if you're charged with disorderly conduct for pulling a fire alarm? If you're charged with disorderly conduct for pulling a fire alarm, whether you're innocent or guilty, you probably need to talk to your attorney, get legal guidance. The attorney you talk to, you will ask you questions about the alleged incident and develop a strategy that helps you move forward. And it's a contact form. Let's go to my new favorite news site, ground.news. Rep. Bowman under investigation for pulling a fire alarm before a government funding vote. Congress Jamal Bowman accidentally triggered the fire alarm while rushing to make a vote, causing evacuation of the U.S. House of Representatives. House Democrats, including Bowman, were trying to delay a crucial vote to keep the Fed trying to delay, even though most of the Democrats voted for it. Let's hear a vote to keep the federal agencies open. Republicans, including House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, criticized Bowman for the incident despite the disruption on the 45-day funding bill was ultimately approved with the support from mostly Republicans and almost all the Democrats. This is from The Hill. Capitol Police deliver a new update on Bowman fire alarm incident. United States Capitol Police delivered a new update on Rep. Jamal Bowman, District New York, decision to pull the fire alarm in Canyon House office building on Saturday is headed to the House, ahead of the House passing a stopgap measure to fund the government. The Capitol Police said Monday update that it's still investigating the incident, which took place around 12:05 p.m. Saturday. The Capitol Police said its officers evacuated the people from the building floor by floor while DC Fire and EMS responded. So you're taking up valuable resources, you're taking up time that could be used for another emergency. I think this is why this is a class 4 felony, because you're not a victim of crime. Yeah, you get to see fire trucks come, EMS comes, a few cop cars. But the thing is that you're taking resources away from emergencies that could be used to help someone that's actually in danger when you just pull the fire alarm. Now, there are some cases, I understand, where when you can legally pull the fire alarm just to make sure that it's working, but those are usually done with a lot of preparations. Everybody's in the know. Sometimes it's a fire drill to make sure that everyone is following the procedures, that everything gets done in a timely manner. All that good stuff. Here, floor by floor. While the Capitol Police did not identify Bowman in this update, it said a man was seen trying to exit the door in the Canyon building and then pulled the fire alarm that prompted the evacuation. It's also noted that officers had previously placed signs with clear languages that explained that the door was secured and marked as an emergency exit only. The update that the Capitol Police provided seemed to address Baldwin's explanation for his actions. The New York Democrat has maintained that he pulled the fire alarm by accident, saying that he thought it would open the closed door. I guess he was thinking he pulls it, the fire alarm will go off, the door will unlock, and he'll be able to enter, vote, but however, it may lock or it may not unlock. The thing is, I don't know how you accidentally and purposely pull a fire alarm expecting that the door would open. Today I was rushing to make a vote. I came to a door that is usually open for votes, but today would not open. I'm embarrassed to admit that I have activated the fire alarm, mistakenly thinking it would open the door. I regret this, sincerely apologize for any confusion this caused, he said in a statement, but I want to be very clear. This was not me in any way trying to delay any vote. It's the exact opposite of trying to urgently to get to a vote, which ultimately I did, and join my colleagues in bipartisan effort to keep our government open. Republicans accused Baldwin of intentionally trying to stop the vote and have launched an investigation into the incident. They're also preparing to introduce legislation to expel Bowman from the House for his actions. Rep. Nicole Mayatalkis, Republican New York, said Monday that she has plans to introduce resolution to expel Bowman. Today I'm introducing my resolution to expel Rep. Bowman for his pathetic antics to delay the congressional proceedings 12 hours before the shutdown, she wrote in a post on X, platform formerly known as Twitter. Of all people, high school principal knows what the fire alarm does. No one is buying this excuse and must be held accountable. Now, there are some people that says, yes, he was wrong. He feels guilty. He is repent. But what about these extreme MAGA Republicans that got us here in the first place? What about Matt Gaetz? We should expel Matt Gaetz. I don't know what the two are related. And there's also the other House representative from New York, forget what his name is, that apparently lied to get hired to be the New York representative. There's no where McCarthy is letting the criminal investigation in New York handle that. But this one is an intentionally pulling the fire alarm in hopes to open a door so he could vote. But you should also know, when a fire alarm is pulled, one of the most secured locations in their country, the fire department is going to be notified. They're going to come in full force. They're going to shut down the building to make sure that there is no fire. They're going to evacuate people. They're going to go room to room in case there is a fire. These are our representatives. Either they're immature or they stay in office way too long and they die while they're in office. I'm talking about Dianne Feinstein. I know she passed away Friday. Regardless how I feel about her politics, at the end of the day, she was American. I just wish that she didn't have to die in office. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that. But most importantly, seems like I don't know why that's Trump, but anyways, apparently Jamel Baldwin has some explaining to do and some answers, and hopefully he doesn't get expelled, even though it is a pretty serious case. But I do hope he does get punishment, whether it's a fine. But let's say they do expel him. There's got to be actions and consequences. There really has to be consequences to these types of actions. And I don't know, it's frustrating because we elect these people to represent us on the federal level, and they pull these antics, which is a class 4 felony in Illinois. I understand that this is not Illinois. I just pulled up the first website and it's happened to be Illinois. With that being said, that is my video for today. Leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are on this whole situation. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.